Yep, I'm making America great again. Fuck you, Donald. Fuck the rest of you, too.
Hey guys, we are back at it again with some more lefties. Before we get started though, I just want to say a quick thing. Really appreciate all the comments that you guys left in the previous video. Some really nice things. I just wanted to let you guys know though, don't feel obligated. When I left that little message at the beginning of the last video, that was really just directed towards the people that actually have the nerve to not appreciate the work that you're putting in. And the reason why I said that again is because it had to do with, I could tell that they weren't a liberal, right? Why would they be watching these type of videos? So it was just a quick thing I wanted to say and basically tell individuals like that if you don't appreciate it, bugger off and go do it yourself. The rest of you guys, appreciate the heck out of you. Feel free just to have fun in the comments. Don't feel like you have to, try and keep my head up. I keep my head up. I don't get discouraged by the comments whatsoever. There was one comment though I did want to bring up real quick. There was a guy yesterday in the most recent video. His comment was, "Bro, you can't even afford a poster or a lamp or a background." What's wrong with my wall? It's a pretty nice wall. It's a nice color. It's not just white. It's pleasant on the eyes. All honesty, look, I do have my green screen's right there. I rarely ever use it, but I should put it to use. But you know what? Maybe this one commenter is right. So let's switch up the background for today. What do you guys think, eh? Not bad. Got a window. I got the lamp. I tried to find the poster there, but I'm 49 years old. I haven't owned a poster in like 30 years. But I did put this sweet couch pillow. So that, got some variety to look at now. Just, I had two different types of couch pillows that go with my set, and I just wasn't sure which. You know what? Let's get nuts.
Light shot! Now you want to get nuts? Come on! Let's get nuts.
Perfect. There we go. Both couch cushions. Now we're good. I'm feeling good about this. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling pretty good about this. This is, I think now we're good to go. Tonight, guys, we're getting into the women. Let's get into it.
So Trump supporters have been telling us for months that Donald Trump is going to be able to lower prices. Now Trump says he can't lower prices. You played yourself.
If you voted third party, didn't vote, or voted for an orange boy, go ahead. Unfollow me. As a matter of fact, block me. I've already unfollowed a bunch of you. To be honest, I don't need that many mutuals. And just so you know, if you're sitting on the train next to me, and some of you will be, don't say a word to me. I want nothing to do with you. Eat shit.
I'm hearing Trumpers saying that they're leaving if he doesn't win. Bye! See ya! Leave your passports behind, okay?
Well, we knew it was coming, but now it's official. Donald Trump will be entering the office of the presidency in just 10 days as a convicted felon. Here's the thing, I worked in drug and alcohol treatment, and I have lots of friends in recovery who, during their active addiction, caught felony charges, whether they be drug-related or something else. And I just wanted to review a list of the things that they cannot do so long as there is a felony on their record. In this country, felons cannot vote. They cannot serve on a jury. They cannot obtain a commercial driver's license. They cannot own a firearm. And they cannot serve in the U.S. Armed Forces. And they often face quite a bit of discrimination, so it is challenging for felons to obtain a loan, to rent a home or an apartment, or even to get a job. But you know where you can reside as a felon? 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, aka the White House. And you know what job you can have as a felon? President of the United States of America. I don't want to ever see again in my entire life another question about felony charges on either a job application or a lease application ever again in my life.
Now, everything that she just named off there that a felon can no longer do, such as be on a jury, have a license for a gun, carry a firearm, license to drive, Trump doesn't do any of those things anyways. So I'm pretty sure he's good. And this felony charges, they're not going to last. It will end up being overturned. There were so many reversible errors. I brought this up before in that court case. There were so many reversible errors. It was ridiculous. But these guys just want to stick to it, stick to it, stick to it. They just want to call him a convicted felon for as long as they can. And the truth is, Dr. Phil brought this up. It looks like Juan Merchan might have maybe unintentionally did Trump a favor by actually sentencing him. Because if he just threw the case away, this would have stuck on Trump's shoulders for the rest of his life. They would have semi-smeared him the rest of his life. Now that he's been convicted, he can actually overturn it. He can appeal and overturn it and have it lifted and removed and gone and done, and the smear jobs are gone. All those indictments they threw at him, not one of them stuck. It's beautiful.
So let me just get this straight. Republicans are upset that Joe Biden pardoned Hunter Biden, but they also voted for a convicted felon who pardoned his buddies while in office. Is that not just hypocritical? Got it.
So disappointed in America, and I just want to say, if you contributed to putting a xenophobic, homophobic, misogynistic, racist, transphobic, convicted felon in office, I mean this in the most hateful, disrespectful way possible. I hope the next 4 years of your life are the worst 4 years that you've ever had, because you need a wake-up call.
19 more days, y'all. 19 more days, and we can tell Dumpy to go fuck himself. So Donald Trump is a convicted felon who has also been officially charged. This is the first time this has ever happened in the history of the United States. An incoming president has been charged with a crime and sentenced. He will not serve any jail time. And this is very personal to me. My dad is a convicted felon who did serve time. And he has faced judgment and scrutiny and lost opportunities over it. But Donald Trump will not lose any opportunities. In fact, he was elected president a second time. So people all over the world have no idea why this man is about to be president again, because other convicted felons in the United States cannot even get a job, cannot even get a minimum wage job, and yet Donald Trump will hold the highest position in the country in just a matter of days. Make it make sense.
Well, I'm going to try and make it make sense. First of all, I just would love to thank these libtards for how they just keep putting out such splendid content. Like, they find a reason to complain about everything. It's fantastic. The next 4 years are going to be great. But what she failed to mention is, yeah, okay, her dad was a convicted felon. What did he do? I'm willing to bet that it was more than what Trump did. Trump, what did he have? A misdemeanor that they times 34 times and then attached an underlying crime to it that nobody knows what that crime was, because the jury got to choose their own adventure. And that was the only way to bring that crime to life and turn it into an actual felony, because it was a misdemeanor. It was one misdemeanor times 34 receipts. Pretty ridiculous. I guarantee you this woman does not even know that. She's got no idea what he was charged for. It's just going to be a bookkeeping thing. and hush money. That's all they can say is hush money. Stormy Daniels was actually useless to even bring into that trial. It was just to smear Trump during the trial to try and make him look dumb.
Isn't it crazy how Republicans think that pronouns are more dangerous for children than AR-15s? Sure.
So, MAGA, the buyer's remorse is kicking in, huh? Don't worry, you'll have plenty of money to fill your tank so you can drive to your sister girlfriend's funeral after she dies from an infected miscarriage.
Yep, this shit is finally going to hit white people. And I want to be super clear that when I make videos like the one I did about Vivek Ramaswamy's tweet, I know I do not need to speak to Black America. Y'all got this shit figured out. Black Americans know damn well about worker exploitation and the myth of the American dream. They also know how to vote in favor of their own interests, something white people are incapable of doing. And because social media likes to segregate us like we're in a prison yard, I'm trying to use that algorithm to my advantage and speak to white people. 53% of white women and 60% of white men voted for Donald Trump. And for some reason, they were so delusional that they believed only Harris voters were going to be harmed by Trump's policies. And yet, here we are in the FAFO time period where all of us are going to be hurt by Trump's policies, whether you voted for him or not. And that is why I will continue to spend my time on this app talking to my viewers, most of whom are white, about policies and data and how the white American habit of voting for the candidate that has the R next to their name is hurting everyone. It's not just hurting those people anymore, it's hurting Republican voters too.
All right, so here's another one of your typical pandering white women talking about how white people are so bad, which is kind of ridiculous. I'll be honest with you guys. I grew up in a multicultural neighborhood. I've never had any form of privilege. I've never lived in a house. I've lived in apartments my whole life. We've never had money in my family. We're not poor, but we've never had money. This white privilege thing, I'm sorry, but to somebody like me, it doesn't exist. I'm not ashamed of my skin color whatsoever. So people like this can go screw themselves. And it's absolutely selfish of her to say that white people always tend to just vote for the white guy with the R beside his name. That is absolutely not true. I've seen so many white idiots that are like, their nose is so far up the Democrats' butt, it's ridiculous. Now, over several decades, the Democrat Party has pandered to the black vote. And yes, they've had, I would say, majority of the wins when it comes to elections, but they've taken the black voters for granted. They make them all these promises, how they're going to start fixing up their neighborhoods when not, they never do it. Once they get in office, they never do it. And what the sad thing is, 4 years later, the black population falls for it again, and then again, and then again. So what happened this time around? Some of them woke up. The black and brown voters woke up. Thank God. And what's going to happen by 2028? More of them are going to wake up. What's pitiful to see is how white people are trying to nosedive and bring back this whole racial culture, which seemed to be really dimming down. I've never had to live through any racial culture myself. Never had a problem in my neighborhood with anybody. But it's the white people that are trying to bring back the racial culture, and they're trying to put themselves under the shoe. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense at all, but hey, let them keep doing what they're doing, because 2028, JD Vance.
Republicans say that Donald Trump never lies, but then they said he was lying when he said he wanted to be a dictator on day one. Got it.
Okay, so I'm going to need one of you creators that make the t-shirts with the sayings and the shit on it. I'm going to need you to make me something to wear that says, "This white woman did not vote for Trump," because I do not want to be associated with the 52% of fucking women that voted for that racist, homophobic, misogynistic piece of shit.
So MAGA thinks that they can buy Canada. Well, you do realize that Canada is very, very, very blue. which means we would have a whole shitload of new representatives. Dummies.
Elon Musk has been threatening on Twitter today to primary any Republican House member who does not vote the way he and Donald want them to vote. Well, they took that vote a while ago, and the bill did not pass. Government shutdown is still looming, and 38 Republicans voted against it. 38 people said, I don't give a shit if Musk primaries me. I'm not voting for this thing. 38. You know what that means, right? Trump and Musk aren't in control of the House, and that there are still some good Republican elected officials in Washington. It may not seem like a big deal, but this is the ultimate foreshadowing of the next 4 years, at least between President Musk, Vice President Trump, and the House of Representatives. I think Musk's days as an influencer in Washington are probably numbered.
Okay, so I'm going to state right off the bat that this lady is a bit of an idiot. Now, let me just break this down real quick. Yes, Musk and many other Republicans on X, I'm on X quite a bit, have stated, you will be primaried, you will be primaried, you will be primaried. They have every right to say that because the next elections are in 2 years. But what they're talking about is mostly Senate. If you try and stop Trump's administration, if you try and stop him from putting his cabinet together, whoever votes against this cabinet, you will be primaried in 2 years. And I absolutely 100% agree with that. So where she's getting a little cocky here and getting a little big-headed is thinking this is what we're going to have for the next 4 years. We have some good Republicans still in the House. What she's referring to is some rhinos, not 38 of them, but that's what a Democrat thinks a good Republican in the House is pretty much, well, a Democrat in Republican clothing. So over the next 4 years, if she's truly thinking that they're going to be able to keep putting up fights like this in the House, and I'm not just saying Trump should just be able to put whatever he wants through. I mean, if it makes sense, it makes sense. Put it through. But they're going to try and do the same thing that they did to him in 2016 and give him a hard time in every single policy he tries to put through. Keep in mind, Trump can exercise executive orders. If I'm correct, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe an executive order lasts for I'm thinking about, it's when Senate's not in session, but Trump can still make decisions without them. So somebody, again, give me the wording for that. I think that's the 2-year thing. But either way, Trump can get his way for the next 2 years, and he will get his way. He'll stomp on them if he has to. And then whoever has been voting against him will be primaried. And I absolutely agree with that. So people like this are in for a shock and a half.
So according to Republicans, if you're an immigrant and get a speeding ticket, you should be deported. But if you're Donald Trump and commit felonies, you should become president of the United States. Got it.
Saying that Trump is not a misogynist because he hired a couple of women into his cabinet is like saying you're not racist because you have black friends.
To all the Hispanic men who voted for Trump, you do realize what you have done, right? Well, if I were you, I'd start packing. Because he's sending you back. Coño carajo.
This is for any Americans that are thinking about moving to Canada now that you have a tyrant coming into office. We do probably have a few things we need to go over before you decide to immigrate here. Number one, please make sure that when you move here that you identify yourself as somebody who voted as a Democrat. We don't need any MAGAs coming here. So, if you wore like a blue hat or those blue bracelets or a blue pin or something just to let us know that you're good people and you're actually worthy of moving here, that'd be great. Second, practice your please, thank you, and I'm sorry a lot, because we do say that a lot here in Canada. For example, if you happen to go to a restaurant and order your meal and they ask you, would you like a salad with that? You don't say yeah. You say yes, please. If you're entering a public building and somebody graciously holds the door open for you, you say thank you. If you're out and about and you happen to accidentally bump into somebody or block their way of getting through an aisle, you say I'm sorry. Here in Canada, we do not say huh. We say eh. So practice that a lot. It's eh, it's not huh. Here in Canada, our money is multicolored. A $10 bill is purple, a $20 bill is green, a $5 bill is blue, a $50 bill is red, a $100 bill is brown. We don't call our money greenbacks here. And speaking of money, we no longer have a $1 bill or a $2 bill. We now have coins, which are called the loonie and the toonie. And finally, here in Canada, we don't have a president. We have a prime minister. We don't have a CIA or FBI. We have RCMP or CSIS. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, just come on over, respect your fellow neighbors, and it'll be all good.
As I've explained in some previous videos, I'm Canadian. This woman's an embarrassment. She's an idiot. I apologize on behalf of Canada. Normally, I don't even like to play clips that are that long. That was like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. But when I found this one, it's like, you know what? We got to use this. What an idiot. Okay, so first of all, this is the second time now that I've played you guys a clip of somebody saying if you voted for Kamala or if you voted Democrat, just, you know, please wear a little pin so we know that you're a good person. We don't need any MAGAs here. You know, Canada's not quite as liberal as they make us sound. Just certain provinces are. I'm willing to bet, because I've seen another video of hers and there was a ton of snow. So I'm willing to bet that she's in British Columbia, which is like the Canadian version of California. And coincidentally, they're right beside each other. This woman is a nutcase. When I've seen some of her other videos, the look in her eyes, she's got so much hatred towards Donald Trump. And she lives on this side of the border. Now, you know, maybe if I look at it in a mirror way, I love Trump. And I was just as passionate about getting him elected. That's all I was doing was Trump videos before the election. And I'm Canadian. And I was pushing for Trump. I knew how important it was to get him in office, not just for the States, but for the entire world. Now, I can't believe that she actually recorded this video, looked at it and said, yeah, perfect, upload. She is treating Americans like they are uncivilized animals. When you come over here, make sure you say your pleases and your thank yous. You can't say huh anymore. And it's not really huh, it's more like uh-huh. That's what I know about you guys in the States. And the cool thing is, I know uh-huh can mean you're welcome, and it could also mean F off. So you guys should give her a nice big uh-huh. The word a does pop out of us every now and then. Not as much as you guys think, though. It's kind of like we're made fun of with that. But she's an idiot. We have them here as well. There's not as many here as you think. There's just as much as there is out there. People are fed up with liberals out here. We've had enough of them here as well.
So the Republicans don't want criminals in the country, but they want one in the Oval Office? Got it.
So MAGA women are mad at us for not trying hard enough to convince them not to vote for that asshole? This shit's on you bitches. And everything that is coming your way is so richly deserved.
So let me get this straight. A comedian at a Trump rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. And then Joe Biden said something about Trump supporters being garbage, which, side note, Joe Biden, no thank you. Please just sit this one out. We don't need your help on this one. And then so Donald Trump either rented or probably bought a trash truck. I don't know. Got a trash truck, a very clean trash truck,
put his name on it and drove around a parking lot. And his supporters are putting on garbage bags and dumping trash on themselves and saying that's how they're going to go vote. Tell me again how you're not in a cult.
Well, first of all, that's not the signs of a cult. A cult has more of a hive mind mentality, and conservatives do not have a hive mind mentality. We just have common sense. The garbage truck thing was ingenious. You guys just kept giving Trump ways to keep marketing himself during his campaign. It was awesome. But yeah, some of them were putting garbage bags on, like a shirt. Nobody was putting trash on themselves. That's a little bit ridiculous. If anybody has the cult mentality, it's the liberals. And sadly enough to say, again, how I brought it up in the past, about the use of medication and therapy on that side, it's pretty safe to say that liberalism is pretty much, well, a mental illness at this point. All right, guys, I got one more for you. As usual, like, comment, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
There's a very common theme in my DMs right now, specifically from white women who voted for Trump, who feel attacked by me saying that yesterday's results of the election remind me that people don't care about my children or children in general. And they feel attacked or triggered by this because they want to remind me that they do care about my children. They do care about all children. That's why they voted for Trump. And when I come to them and I say, well, Trump's policies are going to cause direct harm to my children and millions of other children in our country. They will cause direct harm. And I explain how and why. And I remind them that I have 3 daughters, 2 children of color, 3 children with special education IEPs or 504s. They will have direct harm from his policies. And I say, you tell me that you voted for Trump because you care about my children and your children. Tell me why. What policies do you think will benefit my children and your children? What policies did you vote for? When you voted, did you think about marginalized people? Did you think about women? Did you think about people of color? Did you think about kids with special needs or pre-existing conditions? Did you think about that? The response is crickets.